This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, one of the most recognizable luxury watches on the planet. And here we have another version of it with a wide dial and a smaller size. If you see them next to each other, you might think that the one on the left is a little bit too small, but I think that after you watch this video, you will agree with us that it's probably even better than its big brother. So let's jump right in. So we have a 37mm watch with a reference number 1545OST.00.1256ST.01. It's a pretty long reference number. And we have the 41mm version with the 1540OST.00.122OST.01. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize reference numbers. You can find both of them in the description below. Now, as far as the look is concerned, we'll start with the dial. We had a Grand Tapisserie dial on both watches, actually, on the 37 and also on the 41mm Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. The pattern is called Grand Tapisserie. This is Audemars Piguet's name for this pattern. You have white gold applied hour markers, again in both cases, and Royal Oak hands with luminescent coating, both cases. Aside from the fact that the diameter is different, and of course one is white or silver, the other one is black, the dial design is absolutely the same. The case material on both watches is stainless steel. It has glare-proof sapphire crystal and case back on both the 37 and the 41mm versions. We think that the ultimate luxury steel sports watch should be the Royal Oak. Hence, if you consider this watch, you should consider it in steel. Both watches have display case back, so you can admire the movement and see the oscillating wheel turning around. We will get back to that in a minute, but first let's look at the crown. You have the octagonal shaped crown, very similar to the bezel on the watch. Both crowns, again, are screw-locked crowns or screw-down crowns with the AP logo on them. The thickness of the case or the height of the watch, in both cases, again, 9.8 millimeters. And water resistance, 50 meters for the white and the black dial version. Now, let's talk a bit about the movement. It is the Audemars Piguet caliber 3120 in both watches. The frequency is 3 Hz or 21,600 VPH or vibrations per hour. With 40 joules, 60 hours of power reserve. That's pretty crazy. You can put the watch down and you don't have to worry about it for about 3 days, 2.5 days. And it has the basic functions of hours, minutes, center seconds, and the date. You can see the date window at the 3 o'clock position on the white and also on the black Royal Oaks. Lastly, of course, when we talk about the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, we have to mention its bracelet. It's an integrated stainless steel bracelet with an AP folding clasp. It has push buttons for secured closing, but the clasp is not really important. The more important part is the fact that the bracelet is integrated into the watch and it gives this unique Royal Oak look. So if you want to compare the sizes, we have to take someone with a larger wrist and with a smaller wrist. If you wear a 41mm Royal Oak on a large wrist, that's absolutely fine. It's a great watch, comfortable, with a legible dial. The problem comes if you want to wear a 41mm Audemars Piguet Royal Oak on a smaller wrist. That's not really comfortable, and the wearer is probably not going to enjoy the watch as much as the smaller version. Now, if we take the 37mm Royal Oak and we put it on the same large wrist, the person can still pull it off, you can still wear it, probably more like a dress watch than a sports watch, but you can get away with it. For someone who has a smaller wrist, the 37mm version is definitely the perfect choice. So between the 37 and the 41mm version of the Royal Oak, probably the 37 is more versatile with people with bigger and also with smaller wrists rather than the 41. Regarding the prices, you can get the Royal Oak 41mm for around $25,000 US, while the smaller version sells for around $20,000 on Chrono24. Now, if you look at the price development of the small one, you see that within the last 5 years, it went up 100% from $10,000 to $20,000. In 2019, so last year alone, it has gone up from $15,000 to around $20,000. So this watch really seems to be on a rise value-wise. So the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak is without a doubt one of the most iconic timepieces ever created. And of course, when you think of the Royal Oak, you most likely think of the 41mm version. But we feel that the 37mm version is actually just as beautiful and even more versatile. But what do you think? Would you go for the iconic 41mm version, or do you prefer the 37mm? Let us know in the comments below, and if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Enjoy your watches. Bye bye.